Ajit Doval, the 79-year-old Spymaster, is one of India's most trusted voices on national security and strategic affairs. On 13 June 2024, he was reappointed as the NSA for the third time in the Modi 3.0 cabinet, making him the longest-serving NSA ever. From BRICS and SCO meetings to the G20 summit, he can be seen in almost every bilateral and multilateral event India participates in. Although he is given the position of heading India's national security, his actual job profile is something that has been created just for him and him only. On paper, he's India's national security advisor, but in reality, he is spearheading a department which never existed before, nor does it exist now, not officially at least. It's called parallel diplomacy.
Making the right decision is less important than making the decision right.
Power is not as good as you have it, but as much as you can exercise it. It is just like money. I can have 50,000 rupees in my pocket and die of starvation if I decide not to spend it.
That it is unaffordable for them. You can do one Mumbai, you may lose Balukh.
Although he works as India's parallel diplomat today, his decorated resume in the field was the reason why he was originally assigned his position at the desk as the NSA, the super boss of all Indian intelligence agencies. His career as a spy is nothing short of a fiction movie. Throughout his career, Doval undertook many espionage assignments. His first national assignment came in Mizoram when he was dispatched to resolve the insurgency, which ended in Lal Denga, the leader of the movement, to sign a peace accord. PM Indira Gandhi even made an exception for him by awarding him the Indian Police Medal within just 6 years of his career, something which usually takes 17 years to happen. Immediately after, in 1975, he was involved in Sikkim's official merger with India after its monarchy was abolished. He played a prominent role in that operation, which took place under the supervision of none other than R.N. Kao, the founding father of RAW. And on 16 May 1975, Sikkim became an Indian state. Then in 1988, during Operation Black Thunder, Doval infiltrated the Golden Temple complex posing as an ISI agent and flushed out the militants hiding inside the temple premises. He executed every assignment successfully. His infiltration, mastery of disguise, and intel gathering skills were second to none, but he would follow it up with another exceptional skill in his arsenal: negotiation. The ability to influence people and sway them over to his side. His negotiation skills were first put to the test when he convinced 6 out of 7 commanders of Lal Denga to join hands with India. Later, in an interview to a magazine, Lal Denga admitted that Doval was the reason he decided to come on board and sign the Mizoram Accord. He said, "I have 7 military commanders under me. When Doval left, he took 6 of them with him, and I had no choice but to come on board and negotiate a peace accord." Ajit Doval was also the lead investigator of the 3-member team that negotiated the IC-814 hijacking in Kandahar in 1999. In fact, he was involved in the termination of all 15 hijackings of Indian Airlines aircraft from 1971 to 1999. This power of negotiation is exactly why he is heading a virtually non-existent department today. After retiring from the IB in 2005, Doval remained actively involved in public discourse on national security in India. On one such occasion, in February 2014, prior to beginning his tenure as NSA, Ajit Doval, the then director of Vivekananda International Foundation, a New Delhi-based think tank, delivered a lecture at Sastra University. His lecture went viral,
which has gone viral in Pakistan. The video has excerpts of an old speech which Doval made in February 2014.
It was a summary of his approach and thinking on the appropriate strategic response India should take for its internal security. Few months later, on 30th May 2014, he was appointed as India's 5th National Security Advisor after Narendra Modi took over as the Prime Minister, and he would proceed to do exactly what he said in that lecture. Under his watch as the NSA, India adopted an approach which is popularly recognized as the Doval Doctrine, named after the legendary Spymaster himself. Although it has no clear definition, Doval explained this approach at length in that lecture. Accordingly, he categorized India's responses into 3 possible modes of engagement. First is the defensive mode, which means that you defend yourself from an enemy and you prevent any attack from happening in the first place. Then there's the offensive mode, in which you go all out. The approach of defensive offense is sandwiched somewhere in between the defensive mode and the offensive mode. It means that you go to the place where the offense is coming and you handle the problem. This approach was meant to shift gears from the defensive mode, which India traditionally adopted in the past. The first instance of this doctrine's implementation happened in 2016.
Fidai attack on Army administrative base in Uri, North Kashmir. Gunfight on since 5:30 a.m. this morning.
On the 18th of September 2016, 19 Indian Army personnel were martyred after the Indian Army base in Jammu and Kashmir's Uri was attacked. 10 days later, India conducted surgical strikes across the line of control upon the terror launch pads. The surgical strikes highlighted India's new rules of engagement, thereby underlying that it had adopted the doctrine of defensive offense. Since then, whether it's the Balakot airstrikes in 2019 or Article 370, he's played a key role in each and every decision. But why was a separate department created for him, even though he was already the NSA? Barely a fortnight after he became the NSA on 30th May 2014, his first assignment was patiently awaiting him. In June 2014, 46 Indian nurses were left stranded in Iraq after ISIS terrorists captured a hospital in Tikrit. On June 25th, Doval went on a top-secret mission to Iraq to understand the position on the ground and make high-level contacts in the Iraqi government. On July 5th, after 23 days of traumatic experience, the nurses, unscathed and unharmed, finally returned home. Since then, Ajit Doval has emerged as India's parallel diplomat, and his increasing workload in the past few years is an indicator of his new job role. His earlier international visits as NSA were mostly on the security front, but in recent years he has also become a regular participant in strategic affairs and foreign policy meetings. Since Modi became the Prime Minister, India has developed close ties with the Arab world, especially with countries like UAE, Saudi Arabia, and Egypt, who have even awarded him with their highest state honors. And Doval is the man behind this. He has been advocating a mega infrastructure project to counter China's Belt and Road Initiative. The India-Middle East-Europe Economic Corridor, also known as IMEC. In February 2023, Doval went on a visit to three important capitals: Washington, Moscow, and London. On his trip to Russia, President Vladimir Putin summoned Doval for a rare one-on-one meeting, a privilege that has been extended only to Prime Minister Modi and External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar. Quad, BRICS, SCO, G20 at every summit, Doval's presence in the form of parallel diplomacy is seen at work. A legendary spymaster, boss of intelligence agencies, a cabinet minister, and now a parallel diplomat. Doval, one of the most powerful people in the country today.